Now, I want to talk about why I do not support these Disney live action remakes of classic animated films. Obviously, I'm not talking about anything with Marvel or Star Wars or Simpsons or whatever they own, or X-Men. I'm talking about specifically the movies that are retellings or remakes of classic Disney films, like, for example, the Aladdin movie that came out back in May. Lion King is out now. Mulan's coming very soon. Although Mulan does seem to be a departure from the original animated film, so that could actually be interesting. But I want to talk about my problem with these movies, and I've had an issue with them for quite some time. You know, I'm usually okay with reimaginings of characters. Sometimes it can work, sometimes it cannot. A big example of it not working at all is Maleficent. I went to go see Maleficent in theaters and I could not stand that movie. I thought it was terrible. It had an agenda. It just changed the entire character of Maleficent. It just wasn't very well done. And actually, even before that, you can trace these movies to the old 101 Dalmatians movies that came out back in the 90s with Glenn Close. Those were horrible freaking movies. Horrible. Disney does not have a good track record of making these films. Now, in recent times, they've gone back and they've remade classic Disney, 90s, late 80s films into these live action movies with real actors or new voices voicing actors and new technology. Now, while I do respect the new technology, Lion King has a great deal of like realistic looking lions and CGI. It looks amazing. Like, all that stuff is great. Like, I respect that the movie could end up leading to bigger and better things for the future of filmmaking. And I do respect the artists that work on the movie and the actors. It's not about them. It's about the entire intention behind these films. Because even though some of these movies are probably okay, some of them are probably pretty good. Aladdin got mixed reviews. Most of my friends think that The Jungle Book was the best one they've put out. So I don't care. I don't give a damn. I have enough movies to watch, better movies, including the original versions of these, to waste my time going to a theater and seeing what I consider to be a soulless cash grab. And I'm not saying that every person that works on this movie is soulless, not the actors, not the production people, even the directors, the writers. No, the entire concept of Disney taking these movies that were essentially childhood classics for me and a whole generation that are still classic films. The Lion King, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, these movies still are classic. They still hold up even to this day. I own Mermaid and Lion King on 4K, and I bought them because I love those freaking movies. Some of them I haven't even seen since I was a kid, because I had them on VHS when I was a kid. And it's not so much that I have an emotional attachment to these movies. It's not so much that I think that Disney is ruining my childhood or any of that melodramatic BS you hear on the internet from people who have way too much time on their hands and aren't even that funny. Like, that's not even my whole thing. I've always got those movies. And if I ever have children, they'll have those movies because I shared those movies with my friends and with my parents. I have a very strong emotional connection to those films because a lot of them I watched with my mom, who's no longer with us. But that's not even the problem here. Every time they announce a new one and they sit here and they pick an actor or whatever, it's just one of those things where, like, and let me actually say this before I go any further. This has nothing to do with politics and it has nothing to do with race. I don't care what ethnicity Ariel is in Mermaid. I don't care about silly online petitions or any of that crap. It doesn't matter to me because it's deeper than that. I actually fundamentally do not care about these films at all. And when they are released, I try to mentally block them out and ignore them because I genuinely feel like the entire idea of them remaking these movies with modern actors and modern effects, movies that are already, Disney already took liberties with the story. The Little Mermaid movie is not the Hans Christian Andersen book. It's just not. The Beauty and the Beast story is not the original Beauty and the Beast story. Same thing with Mulan, even though, like I said, the new one looks to be more accurate. Like Aladdin, the live action one, is a remake of Aladdin, the animated one, which is basically a retelling of Arabian Nights, except totally different with new characters and different lore and things like that. It was inspired by these original novels, but they're not adaptations of these novels. They're just not. I mean, Disney will do adaptations once in a while, but they usually take the story and give it its own twist, or they make an original story. And they're pretty good at it. I mean, everything that Pixar puts out historically has been, at the very least, good to great, and most of it has been fantastic. Pixar, to me, has delivered quality upon quality upon quality of original, unique stories. Toy Story, The Incredibles, all that stuff is, you know, unique to itself. But these Disney live action, or whatever you want to call it, remakes of classic films feel so soulless. It's like the company's like, okay, Lion King was popular, made us a ton of money. Can we redo the movie? Not even re-release it in theaters, because, you know, kids nowadays can't see old animation, or whatever some corporate pissant somewhere in Lake Buena Vista or wherever the hell they meet for these things, right, is telling a boardroom, yeah, well, this movie made us X amount of dollars. It's a big property. Let's just remake it, spend some of our big Disney surplus of money, and re-release it for those who are nostalgia junkies and those who, you know, who have never seen The Lion King or, you know, Aladdin. It's for a new generation. And it's just so, it comes off so freaking corporate. And let me tell you something right now. Disney's got enough. Disney owns me, bro. Disney's got me by the balls. I've bought every MCU movie in theaters. I own almost all of them on Blu-ray. You know, I've supported Star Wars for a while, even though Last Jedi was utter trash. You know, I went to see Force Awakens like 3 times in the theater. Like, I think it was more than that, but I have, and because I like the movie. I mean, I like Force Awakens, even though it's not as good as it could have been if Last Jedi didn't screw it up. But that's a different story. I've spent money on Disney stuff recently, and I'm part of the Disney Movie Club. Like, I bought Blu-rays of a Goofy movie and other classic films. I've supported Disney for so long. I have been to Disney World. I mean, Disney owns the world, dude. We all know this. I think they have enough of my money, honestly. I think they do, because I don't want to pay. And yeah, you can get the AMC Stubs rewards thing, AMC Stubs Plus or Movie Pass or whatever, which I do have. I have one of those. You can find cheap ways to see the movie, but I don't want to pay, not just with my money, with my time, to see a remake of a movie that I already saw, know, and love. It's the same thing. I haven't seen Lion King. Every review says the shot-by-shot remake, except with no soul. The songs are different. The voice acting is, you know, emotionless. Even the CGI can't even emote the lions. Like, I've heard nothing truly positive about this Lion King movie. And this movie is an example of how I feel about all of these. Yeah, some people loved Aladdin. Oh, Aladdin was good. They changed things. I don't care. I don't give a damn. To me, these films don't exist. There's only one Aladdin by Disney. There's only one Lion King, one Mermaid, one Mulan. Well, there's sequels, but you know what I'm saying. There's only one original classic that... And let me tell you something. Lion King was a big freaking deal when I was a kid. I mean, they promoted the heck out of that movie. Every Disney VHS tape that you bought had a trailer for Lion King before it came out. Like, yo, this is the new thing we're working on. It's a big deal, you know. And it was a big deal. But it has nothing to do with my... I mean, you might think it does, but it has less to do with my emotional attachment to the original and more so to do with the fact that it just comes off so soulless. Like, some of these filmmakers that make these films are great filmmakers. Jon Favreau, for one. You know, he is a great filmmaker. He's had some missteps, but he's made Iron Man 1. He made Chef. He's doing The Mandalorian. The dude's big in Disney. He's getting treated very well by Disney. And yet, he gets tasked to do Lion King and does the same thing. And I know it wasn't even his call. I don't even think he even... It was like a paycheck movie. It's like a paycheck movie to him. And, you know, then they're casting modern actors. Like, you know, are they going to, like, cast Rihanna to play, you know, Flounder or Ursula or whatever? Like, I don't even want to even think about it. And then every time they make a new cast announcement, there has to be some backlash on Twitter. Oh, well, Ariel's black now, so that's bad. Or Ursula's going to be Melissa McCarthy. That's riot. Like, there's always, like, why do y'all care? Why do we care about these movies? I don't understand. And I know, look, I know I might not, you might not agree with me on this one. All right, I gotcha. Some people like these movies. I have very close people to me that love these Disney movies and they go see them every time they come out, okay? And I don't even shame them for it, even though I mess with them once in a while because, you know, they're my friends. But I will never bring myself to go see one of these movies. Frozen 2, I'll go check out Frozen 2. It's a sequel. It's a continuation of the story. Toy Story 4, I'll go see Toy Story 4. Why? Continuation of the story, new story, a great franchise. Once again, Pixar delivering the goods. You know, if they put out, I don't know, a sequel to an old animated film, even if the sequel is animated differently, I might check it out, you know. But these remakes of these Disney movies, they're such freaking trash. Even if they're not, they just come off like such trash, like such a corporate, you know, we have to make X amount of movies come out during X amount of times. We have to be in the theaters at all times with a big movie. Disney owns the movie theaters, folks. Not literally, but that might happen one day. Your movie theater right now, I guarantee you, has at least 4 Disney movies. At my theater right now, I got Avengers Endgame playing, still Avengers, Spider-Man Far From Home, Toy Story 4, Aladdin, and now Lion King. I'm going to have 5 movies. And guess what? There are still Captain Marvel showings. That's 6 movies. That's right. Some theaters still have Captain Marvel showing. So Disney is everywhere. And I think, you know what? No disrespect to Disney as a corp. I don't hate Disney. I do not hate them as a company. But I'm not buying these crappy live action remakes. There's my rant. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you feel me on this one. And if you disagree, it's cool. It's only my opinion. And I'm only one man.